There are two major types of positions in the game of chess. The first one's called the open position, and the other one's called the closed position. Basically, it relegates between if there's a closed center or an open center. So, we're going to talk about both, and usually people are better than one versus the other, but the best players in the world are good at both. Let's talk about the difference between the open positions and the closed positions and getting better at both. So first of all, we'll start with the open positions, where we have these 5 tips to get better at it. Number 1, control center. Place your pawns and pieces to control center, basically having the pieces gravitate to sort of center, and if you win the center in your initiative, you can actually have a better chance and have an advantage and win the game. Number 2, develop your pieces efficiently. Aim to bring out all your pieces quickly and efficiently during the opening. Develop your pieces so that way, in the very beginning of the game, you have 2 rooks on the side of the board, the corners of the board. You want to make sure that they can look at each other, just getting rid of all the things in between. To do that, we want to castle. You want to make sure that you castle and having the rooks look at each other. And basically a good rule of thumb is you only attack until you have your rooks looking at each other, and this is a really good sign you're developed enough to attack. Number 3, make sure your king is safe. Consider castling early, or make sure that you have control over the open lines from your king, so that way your king will not be checkmated or losing the casting rights prematurely. Number 4, make sure you're aware and mindful of the pawn structures. Make sure your position in the pawn structure is really good. So for example, if you castle in a position that you have no pawns, then your king will be exposed. Make sure that the pawns in front of your king are not overextended or broken up. Make sure you don't have double pawns for the king, or else you're going to be having a checkmate position in your face. Number 5, make sure you have a dynamic play. So if you have a lead in development, make sure you don't lose that development. Development is a temporary advantage. So if you lose the initiative or you lose the development advantage, then your attack potential is going away. So make sure you do dynamic play. Make sure you take advantage of your lead development so that way you can attack and earn the win for the game. Now we're looking at the other chapter, which is about closed positions and how to get better at them. The 5 tips are: number 1, understand pawn structures. Especially when you have an opening, you want to make sure you understand the pawn structures that go along with it. So even if you have a London system opening, you want to have a really good plan of what you want to do with the pawn structure you have. Make sure you don't want to have a compromising position and you have no plans behind them. And also make sure you don't have weaknesses by the pawn structure. Don't do double pawns, don't have isolated pawns unless if you have really good dynamic play, and make sure you don't have backwards pawns if you can help it. So understand your pawn structure, and if you want to, let's say, introduce a weakness for your opponent, then you can go for that and you open up possibilities to win the game. Number 2, use piece maneuvering to maximize your pieces and have them do what they want most. So rooks love open files. Rooks love doubling on open files. Rooks like to be in the 7th rank to pick up pawns. And also, bishops love open lines to attack and pressurize the enemy pieces. And knights love outposts, weak squares they can jump into, and you can influence enemy forces in the maximum way that they can. So make sure that you take your time to maneuver your pieces to the maximum, most powerful strength that it can be. Number 3, use pawn breaks. When you use pawn breaks, you can open up positions in a certain part of the board to have an advantageous advantage to win the game. You want to know the timing. You want to know the calculation to make sure that you are having a benefit with a pawn break, not just having a pawn break because there's a pawn break to be had. But make sure you have timing is right, and also you calculate the end result to be in your favor. One method you can use is prophylactic thinking by saying to yourself, if I skip my turn, if my opponent's now having a turn, what will he do? What targets can he attack? Is it quick? Is it strong? Should I do a move to prevent or maybe, let's say, nullify their attack? What will they do next? And if you do this really efficiently, you're going to be safe pretty much all the time. And if it's really okay to go with your plans, then the prophylactic thinking is a really good way to check that, okay, you're safe to go with your plans, don't worry about anything else. Number 4, prophylaxis. With prophylaxis, you can anticipate your opponent's plans and treat it and prevent it in the best way possible. Number 5, always have a chess plan created even if all avenues and files and everything are closed up. There's a popular saying that says a bad plan is better than no plan at all. And with the plans, you want to have a long-term and short-term plan. So you want to make sure that you have a goal and a target to aim for. Not just the king, but maybe a target of weak squares or weak pawn and something else you could just target. You have to have a improvement of your pieces. You want to make sure that you have a good coherent plan that you got to go from A to B, not A, I don't know what to do, and hopefully that B. Don't do hope chess. You want to have a plan that's coherent, but if you don't have a plan right now, you can actually improve your pieces, and magically, I guarantee you, the plan will be popping up in your head. And that'll be the way to end the game if you have a coherent plan from A to B and win the game. For these tips for the open positions and the closed positions, don't worry if you're not good at one. You can enhance the one that you're good at. If you're weak at one, you can actually have it be balanced. So with hearing all these tips of the open positions and the closed positions, you should be good at both. But a lot of people, especially if you're beginning at chess, you're good at one, but not the other. A lot of times people are good at open positions, but they struggle at closed positions. They don't know what to do. They don't have a plan. They just play moves because it looks pretty, and they lose the game. They don't have a plan. They don't have a backup plan. They don't do prophylaxis, and they lose the game. Before you go in and master open and closed positions, look at this next video that talks about the most common and popular mistakes that people do in their chess games that make things really bad. Hey, check this video out to make sure that you get more important information to bring your chess to the next level.